Well, guten Morgen, my
Listening to
liebe Pfeifen
Capital
Freunds.
Public
How
Radio.
are you today? Alles
We
klar?
get support from Proactive Acupuncture, Center for Asian Healing Arts. Learn more
Well,
about acupuncture, a natural
It's me, the old
alternative
voice
for
smoker by
improving health,
Padre, coming
at
back at you.
proactiveacupuncture.com.
Listening to a little bit of Capital Public Radio here. Let me turn it down. Probably
Sonora's
see my
smart
big
dog
fat
introduced the idea of
fingers there. Hopefully I won't get any copyright violations. It's so irritating because even playing the background radio. One of my videos, I think the chess video that I put up a couple weeks ago, got a copyright hit on it, and it's like I wasn't even playing any music except I had the radio in the background. But even that, I know, dear friends, is enough to violate. Anyway, well, I'm smoking my church warden. Of course, I'm doing a 360 video here in my office, my renovated office, which I love. I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. Because you can kind of do the 360, you can kind of go look around. You might see that I've kind of redistributed things. I mean, actually cleaned some things up. My Mac workstation, my original one that I got 8 years ago, and it's been running like a champ ever since. I've had my Mighty Mac Pro. I don't know if you can see it over here. You probably can't. No, you can't. I'm sure you can't. But I moved it. If you may recall, well, probably you don't. Maybe you don't recall, because I didn't show you. But maybe if I just do it real quick, I'm gonna move the camera, kind of show you the workspace now, and you might see kind of a bit of an improvement. I think I shared this with Gary yesterday, real quick, kind of sharing with him what I'm doing. So anyway, why is it different? Well, this is where I need to make a confession. I need to make a YouTube video confession here because, as many of you know, I have been on a kind of a year-long kind of a self-improvement kind of a thing. Again, I'm still working on the diet and the exercise. And I can honestly say, and I got the proof to back it up on my calendar, that I've done everything that I said I would do. I haven't had any fast food or pizzas or sugar. In fact, this Wednesday will be 6 months to the day, because I started on December 22nd, the ketogenic diet. Still doing that. No cookies, cakes, candy, bars, pies, bagels, bread, pasta, nothing like that. So anyway, and I feel great. I feel good about that. And one of the other things was, in addition to the exercise and the diet, was I was also going to hold off on buying any Apple products for a year. Well, I would be less than honest if I told you, oh yeah, I'm doing that. The interesting thing was that done here later. I'm smoking some Escudo. I'm almost done with this tin of Escudo that I probably got 4 or 5 years ago. Still absolutely delicious, delectable and delicious. What was I going to say? So up until Wednesday of this past week, and if you do a 360, you might see what I'm going to be confessing to you all. If Richard T's watching, he probably has already figured out what I did, my sin that I committed this week. But the irony is this: I woke up Wednesday morning, and the first thing I normally do is I will, stumble sleepily into the kitchen and get up my cup of coffee. By the way, I've been, now that the weather is starting to turn warm and summer's just about here, I've been making cold brewed coffee. If you've never made cold brew coffee in a French press, you're missing out on one of the most delicious things in the world. The velvety has a velvety, chocolatey texture when you brew it cold brewed. Oh, it's nothing better. And then you can heat it up if you want. You can doctor it up however you like, but cold brewed coffee for me is one of those rare essences in the world. Anyway, I digress again. So Wednesday morning, as I woke up, I got my coffee, and the second thing I probably do is check my email. You know, get on the internet, get on my cell phone, start checking all that stuff. I might be missing out on something. God forbid. Well, have you ever? I'm sure you can relate to this. Have you ever had a meal? You eat a big meal, and you wake up the next morning and you are not hungry. Food is the last thing on your mind. Well, for some reason, technology, internet, iPhone, iPad, 360 cameras, anything to do with, technology, I said, you know what?
The London Symphony.
I don't want to bother with it today. I really don't want to bother with it today. And I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a self-imposed total technical fast. I'm not going to check my email. I'm not going to check my Google Calendar. I'm not going to check, to see if I have any emails. I'm not going to see if I have any text messages. I'm just going to let it go. Just let it go for a whole day. And you know what? I did that. In fact, it was interesting because it was a busy day, but I didn't rely upon pulling out my cell phone the only thing I did have with me was my watch because I tell time. I didn't do any of the other functions. I just looked at it for time and that was it. Just like a regular watch. It actually does tell time. The Apple Watch actually does. Contrary to popularity, the Apple Watch does tell time. So, in fact, I've actually got almost a year with this Apple Watch. You can see it in my Apple Watch. I have almost a year to the day that I got this. And it's going great. I got to say, I was a bit dubious, and maybe I'll do a little 1 year retrospective on the Apple Watch, and if you're interested, but not this video. So anyway, I did a complete up until about 5 o'clock. I said okay, and I did. I made it through a whole day. I didn't check one thing. I was like, wow, and I felt great. I felt wonderful. But then, for some reason, I went out to get a coffee, and there's a Best Buy, and I forgot what I was looking for at Best Buy. I think I wasn't really looking for anything. I was just, I guess I was just kind of going in just to kill some time. Well, what happened was, there was this really beautiful young woman in the Apple section. She's like the new Apple guru gal. And most of my times I've had geeky guys, and there's nothing wrong with geeky guys. In fact, sometimes people even ask me, can you tell me about this product here? You seem like you know what you're talking about. So I sometimes start selling Apple products when I'm over there in the Apple kiosk. So I have to be careful that I don't do that. But some people will. I've had that happen twice now. People will ask me these in-depth questions. Well, can you tell me something about this iMac? Or what's the difference between this laptop and that, and this MacBook Pro and this MacBook Air? So, and I don't really know. I mean, I don't have maybe all the specs down like I should. But the bottom line is that I can probably talk to you about Apple products and obviously in some depth. Because they're asking, what does this machine do? So I can tell them stuff that they do because I do a lot of stuff on these things, as you know. Anyway, so this beautiful young woman was there, and so this other lady had a lot of questions, and so she was asking her, and she was doing a great job answering all the questions, and then she kind of looked over at me, and she goes, "Why are you looking at that particular MacBook? Is it better?" And I said, "Well," and so I started chiming in and kind of explaining what I was looking for. Anyway, so here's the irony. Hadn't done any tech stuff all day, and then I asked this girl because she seemed like she really knew what she was talking. She knew what she was all about, and I said, "Hey, by the way, if I ever wanted to get a new Mac Pro, the newest Mac Pro, which came out in 2013, I said, would you guys be able to order that for me?" Now, I wasn't going to buy it that day because I wasn't in the market for it, and she said, "Are you serious?" And I said, "Well, can you order one?" She goes, "Well, not only can we order one, we actually have one in the store today, but it's back in the warehouse and it's locked up in the cage." And I said, "Really?" She goes, "Yeah, a guy came in the other day, or last week, bought it, had buyer's remorse, and brought it back the next day. So it's an it's an opened Mac Pro. So the only thing is I can tell you is it's $300 off." I went, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh." Well, if you pan around, you can see that right there, and as I'm pointing, now I'm pointing with my pipe stem. There it is. The computer I've been wanting to get for the last 3 years. I got it on Wednesday. So unfortunately, my Mac fast, or my Apple fast, came to an end on Wednesday. So anyway, what I did was brought it home. Had some problems with it because I'm marrying it up with my older cinema displays. And those of you who, maybe you can see the cinema display right over here, and maybe even back there. And I had a 3-array cinema display, and it was, although I had 2 video cards, it was starting to slow down. It was starting to have some artifacts on one of the screens. I'd have to restart it, and after a few days, the artifacts would. It looked like little red sparklies on one of the screens. I know it's the video card that was kind of probably going bad. So anyway, the bottom line was that I came home, and this whole area has just been an absolute kind of disaster. I had stuff piled back here. Still got some stuff, but actually I'm going to be hooking up those external hard drives. But what it forced me to do was look at how I was really my workflow, especially when it comes to making videos. So the new Mac Pro is basically going to be only for Final Cut Pro 10, and that's it. This Mac system here, that's my original Mac system, and I'm just gonna do everyday stuff on that when I'm here in the room. I've got a little portable keyboard here, maybe you can see that, and little magic mouse. Not the newest one. I'm not too happy with the newest one. But they designed that thing really weird. But anyway, I can check email. I can do text messaging. I can, I can look at the internet. I can launch other programs. I can do stuff over here. Whereas I'm just going to keep this one dedicated to Final Cut Pro, and with the big 30-inch screen monitor. So couldn't be happier. Turn the music just a little bit. So anyway, I did want to make that little public confession as far as my Mac Fast. Now, I did have to get a couple of accessories. One of them was a mini DisplayPort dual link DVI adapter cable. Say that fast 3 times. And they don't, well actually they did have one in the Apple Store at the Galleria in Roseville. Just one, and I got it. So you have to have that for some reason because the standard DVI cable, the single DVI cable, will run the monitor, but at the absolute lowest resolution. It looks like big pixels. It looks like something that maybe your grandfather would have to look at because he can't see very well. And sorry, that might be a little imprudent to say it like that, but I mean, I'm there. I mean, I have to have glasses all the time. Very good. So anyway, I basically kind of, it motivated me to really look at how I was doing things and clean things up, because it was just getting really to be a kind of a catch-all here. There was this whole desk was just cluttered with stuff. I mean, I got my pipe accessories here now, but other than that, pretty much we've got a little bit more organized working spaces here. So I'm pretty happy about that. And again, the reason why I gave in to buying that purchase is, getting $300 off on a machine like that, I thought that's a deal that's not going to come around again. Now, it could very well be that, in a couple of months they're going to come out with a brand new Mac Pro, and I'm going to feel like, oh gosh, I wish I would have waited. Maybe. I've waited 3 years to get this one, and I was still going to, probably was going to wait until after the 22nd of December of this year, which I kind of when I started all my fasting and stuff like that. So, or at least a new purchase in the new year, 2017. But anyway, it just turned out that it seemed like it was a deal that I couldn't pass up because of the savings. And in fact, my original Mac Pro, my 2008 Mac Pro, was kind of the same thing. A guy at work bought the Mac Pro, and then a week later he bought himself a MacBook Pro. And when his wife found out about it, she threatened to divorce him. And at that time, I was just getting into Apple, and that was my dream computer. I couldn't believe it, and he let me have it for pretty much I wouldn't say a super great deal, but pretty much I got it at a little bit less than what he paid for it. And he goes, "Hey man, if you buy this, you'll save my marriage." So I thought, okay, well, I can't walk away from something like that either. So, yeah. So anyway, let's turn the music just a little bit. So that's kind of what I wanted to share in this video, I think. I was going to get into something a little more philosophical. Maybe I'll do that in another video another time. But I just wanted to kind of make that little general public confession. That way I feel like, at least I'm being honest, because people might say, well, he says he's going to do these things and he didn't do it, or he lied about it. So, I mean, some people could care less, I know, but it's just me, a little personal integrity thing there, saying, hey, I was going to do that, and I probably will now go back and probably not buy any more Mac things for the rest of the year. We'll see if we can do that. At least maybe I go 6 months increments without buying Mac things. But anyway, I'm sitting here. It's been the lovely weather. I just want to touch on that real quick. The weather here for the last 4 or 5 days has just been spectacularly beautiful. We were getting into I think we had a couple of 100 temperature days a couple weeks ago, and that's just part and parcel of living here. But the last couple of days have just been glorious and gorgeous, and it's almost like I remember Deutschland in springtime and summer. We had lots of thunderstorms and just, beautiful, cool temperatures. So anyway, I always kind of think of Europe when we get this kind of unusual. It does happen. I think once, usually in the summertime, we'll get a cooling trend for a day or two, and so it's just about over. I think there's supposed to be a little bit of. It rained all last night, which was fantastic. So anyway, I just wanted to get on here and share that little thing with you on my 360 video. I have to say also that the 360 Fly camera, it's cool because you can do the 360 scanning, and that's all fun and everything, but the resolution isn't that great. I know that. So that's not me. It's just it's the limitations of the camera. So I may eventually just kind of go back to either doing maybe try a GoPro next time. No, this is not a 360 GoPro. I saw a guy who made an array, a 360 GoPro array, which cost like $4,000. Yeah, and if you wanted to build one yourself, you could. But I just don't have the time or the money to do that. But anyway, so I hope you got something out of the video today, and thanks for watching. And we'll see you next time. Hope your day is going well. I hope you're having a wonderful day weather-wise. And I remember one time a guy said, if you get up and you're having a bad day, well, guess what? You can always restart your day later. So try that. Try restarting your day. Try rebooting your day and see if it gets better. Okay? Light up your world. Light up your pipe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.